The sheriff of Douglas County is distancing himself from the leader of an armed group who says his men will be backing up sheriff's deputies, quote, if it gets real bad. Previously, Republican Sheriff Darren Weekly had praised Able Shepherd, the tactical group that recently disrupted Dougco Pride Fest. Sheriff Weekly was a guest on the CEO Jimmy Graham's podcast last month. Graham told the sheriff in their conversation that he saw something, quote, coming for our children. And Graham outlined a scenario where the sheriff would want and need his trained men to fend off a threat. The sheriff's response on the podcast? He said, absolutely.
I'm seeing right now creeping in is not sustainable. Like the stuff going on in our county that's creeping in, and I understand that you are there to enforce laws, but I see a thing coming for our children that I'm not okay with, right? If it gets that bad, you're going to want people, you're going to need, people, and they should be people of character that have some level of training, right? Standing to support. The math doesn't add up if it gets real bad, right? So it's all of a sudden we're on the same team
absolutely.
again, because it must be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
At no point during the podcast conversation did Dougco Sheriff Weekly push back on Graham's scenario of these armed Able Shepherd volunteers joining forces in the streets with deputies as something is coming for children. Yesterday, Graham told us here on Next that Sheriff Weekly was personally aware that his group was organizing a disruption of the Dougco Pride Fest. And he said that if his armed trainees were to go and operate alongside law enforcement, Able Shepherd would not be under the authority of the county sheriff, because he said that would give them more capability if they were just armed citizens. Today, Sheriff Weekly distanced himself from that scenario in a way that he did not during Graham's podcast. Cooperation between citizens and law enforcement is valuable, but it must be within legal boundaries to ensure everyone's safety, Sheriff Weekly said in a written statement to us. He continued, quote, in the setting of the podcast you referenced, I dismissed the scenario as unrealistic. I should have been clearer in my answer. The Dougco Sheriff's Office says it does not have any future planned events in cooperation with Able Shepherd. Last week, the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office told Able Shepherd they needed to stay away from a joint event following Able Shepherd's protest at Pride Fest.